he was stoic, first of all, he wouldn't cry as much as he does.
She's seething. She's coping.
No, Idubbbz, please don't try and call me mean.
She might be like the biggest lol cow.
It's actually insane how much happens in such a short amount of time in the world of Idubbbz. For a man that lives in his mother-in-law's basement, he sure does get himself into a lot of drama on the internet. But unlike someone else you channel regulars are probably seeing some similarities to, Idubbbz sees himself as becoming something more, the White Hassan.
People see me as like the White Hassan.
I don't know why anyone would want to be the anything Hassan, but Idubbbz actually has brain damage, so there's that, I guess. When we last left off, the H3 crew had finished reacting to Idubbbz reacting to Coach Mike and his wife Kate going on the H3 podcast to expose all of Idubbbz and Anisa's sins, before talking about the Kino Casino boys making their official response to Idubbbz's video.
Oh, wait. 100 subs, bitch! Let's fucking go!
Yeah, what Idubbbz did was so retarded, you know? Like, I just feel like this tard bell is... It's a little inadequate. Thank you, Ian! Thank you!
The fat guy in his cohort is bullying me!
We're getting the Porsche!
And they're like, whoa, buddy!
Yes, we do that!
How is this?
That's how we started the show.
They're having the best
How
day of
is
their
this
lives.
real life? Like,
PPP would point out the obvious, that nobody who watches the Kino Casino was going to stop watching because of that video. And in reality, all Idubbbz did was point people who had no idea what a Kino Casino is into their direction.
He has 7 million subscribers and routinely gets hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views on his main channel. Why are you addressing us? You just blew us up way bigger. I mean, I'll be real. We couldn't buy the publicity that he just gave us.
Yeah.
We're on every stream. Every commentary channel is talking about Kino Casino. It's on everyone's lips. People are coming here I've never seen before, donating in fucking droves. We have 8,600 people here tonight. And we haven't even really started.
No.
I just can't believe what he did. The gift that he gave us. I think he loves us because I'm the only person watching his show.
You know, but like, let's be real. Like,
but where else can he go to get feedback on his show? To be fair,
well, we are.
There's no one else that talks about it or watches it. So of course he has to go to us.
We're honest. We say the best. He starts off with the best advice you've ever had for him ever.
Yeah,
as an own. We'll see. We'll watch it.
It makes me look like human.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, it's like, wow.
Whereas
Ashton
you could have just painted me as like a dirty pig creature. There's so much material of me just... And the stuff that he picked to be like outlandish and crazy isn't even like the half of the stuff that I fucking said. And he thinks I'm going to be ashamed of it. Basically, he took like the greatest hits of the show, packaged it up together, marketed it to all of his fans and said... These are the guys that bother me the most.
Yeah.
These are the guys that really get under my skin and are really causing me and Anisa to crash out because we've ruined our careers and you guys don't like the garbage that we make anymore. So go support them. I can't believe what he did.
It is
thinking in any way that there's a single viewer of Kino Casino who's going to watch that video and go, oh man, I didn't know Ashton talked like that. I didn't know Andy talked like that.
Did Andy zoom in on his face and when he's depressed? I'm gonna.
What?
You know what?
I've never
I'm pulling my contributions.
There wasn't a chance in the world.
Ashton's fat? What?
That we would lose even one viewer.
What?
But there's a massive chance that we're gonna gain hundreds and thousands. We've already gained hundreds.
Hit the big one.
You know?
Hit the big.
What are you thinking? What were they thinking?
PPP then told us his theory that they had finally gotten to Anisa enough that she forced Idubbbz into making that video, similar to how many people believe that she was the reason why Ian made that Ethan Klein content cop.
Oh, ItsAGundam, our buddy, friend of the show. Here we go. Kino fucking broke
thumbs worse than DSP.
True.
It actually is true. I can't believe we got to him like this. Like, and I don't know if we got to him or we got to Anisa, but I think we got to Anisa enough that it finally got to him, and they're just both broken and just dumping and crying about us, and it's like, do you not understand? This is exactly what we want. Like, oh no, Bra Fox, don't throw me in that there bra patch. Don't do that. No, that would be terrible. No, Idubbbz, please don't try and call me mean. That'd be terrible.
Then Dad would get brought up because in the comments section of the video, he had the #1 most liked comment challenging Idubbbz to a boxing match, one that Idubbbz is running away from.
Very funny. Oh my god,
there's
Dad
up at the top. But can we box? He's ducking Dad. He claims that he finished Dad in sparring, but he won't just fight him and beat him? Why not? Why is he such a pussy? Well, I think the boxing trainer corroborated the story. Idubbbz really did finish Dad with a body shot.
Then go fight him.
So go fight him. What's the problem? It's like free money then. You're going to beat the fuck out of him. I have a feeling, though, that what happened with that is that Dad knew, much like all of his interactions with Mr. Jomha, that he was his boss. And if he beat the fuck out of his boss was going to felt him. Yeah. So he held back and quit to a body shot and let Ian feel like he was a real man.
No, I believe it.
That's what I think happened.
That comment almost has as many likes as the video, by the way. Andy Warski and PPP would then laugh at Idubbbz, saying how abandoning and denouncing his audience never did him any favors.
How can you be mad at your fans spitting on you when you spat on your fans? Exactly. You told them you didn't want them. And there's a difference. You know, people always compare Joji, leaving Filthy Frank behind to Idubbbz leaving, the content cop behind. Mm-hmm. The difference was that Joji didn't perform humiliation rituals on himself and his audience. He didn't shame people for enjoying the content he made. He didn't whip himself through the streets for making the content that he made. He didn't. He just moved on. And if Idubbbz had just moved on, made whatever he wanted to make, his fans would have come with him, at least a certain contingent of it. For him to have fumbled this badly is a generational fumble.
Yeah.
It's insane. And he just can't stop focusing on the negative and focusing on the trolls.
Yeah.
And I'm actually trying to give the guy genuine advice at this point because he really needs it, but he won't listen. And this is what's sad is I'll actually tell him what he needs to hear because no one else around him will. Anisa certainly won't. His few fans that remain won't. The sycophants. No one is going to tell him what he needs to hear. And deep down, why he's so affected by this program is for as much as we joke and we laugh and we go to the extreme, there is a definite heart of truth to what we're saying on this show. And it bothers him. And it reaches in the back of his mind at night. He has nightmares about it. He wakes up. Are they right? Am I really just a piece of shit? Have I really just burned it all down for nothing, chasing a succubus and simping? And he knows that we're right. And that's why we got the brunt focus of this episode, as opposed to much bigger channels like Turkey Tom or Nicholas Dorio or whoever else. It's because this show really, really bothers him. And I think part of it is, too, that we embody a certain spirit of freeness in the way that we can talk and a certain ability of just not giving a fuck and just having fun and being funny that he used to have and that H3 had and that he's lost over time. And it bothers It really bothers him because he can't be that anymore. And so that's, I think, part of it as well.
PPP would then let loose a secret that he was actually ready to drop Idubbbz segments from the show going forward before this. But by getting the reaction that they were looking for, they were going to A-log him until the end of time.
And also, I do want to point out also for Idubbbz, do you know we were done with you? Do you know that, right?
We had a discussion that it's over. All right, let's move on.
Me and Andy talked behind the scenes, and I'm like, listen, man, this bog with Dane, there was nothing in it.
But yes, you did say that. You're like, there's nothing,
what can we do making fun of Anisa's it's over. Like, we were actually going to cycle Idubbbz out, and that was why we were pushing quartering so hard, is as the new replacement Idubbbz, the poopy pants or whatever. For whatever reason, he chose the worst timing in the world to release this video, and now it's like what we're gonna do now until the end of time, I guess.
we're like walking out, right? We just get like, wait, sirs, more content. Took our jackets back off. All right, let's get back in here, buddy. We were done because the bog is really boring. Guys, Aston got 45 seconds in two hours. He got 45 seconds.
I think he's actually fighting for his spot on Kino Casino because it's the only thing that keeps him somewhat relevant.
He's like, no,
and it's the only time is interesting or people actually care about him. He's like, no, you guys can't stop covering me. And it's also him and his wife's comfort show. You know, like a lot of couples, they'll watch TLC, they'll watch 90 Day Fiance, or they'll watch Big Brother or Survivor. Their comfort show is this show.
PPP then took Idubbbz up on his offer and took full responsibility for being a part of the problem, or whatever it was Idubbbz was trying to accuse him of.
This day that he's part of the problem, but he fucking refuses, like a coward does, to take any responsibility for him being part of the problem.
I take full responsibility. I am the problem. I am the one who knocks, cuck.
The casino also exposed Idubbbz for the liar that he is. Idubbbz did not like the last name Jomha better than Washburn. In reality, Anisa did not like his whatsoever.
This is what I chose to do because I like her last name.
Okay, well, we made fun of, we're making fun of you. It's cringe.
It's okay. I don't know why you have to justify yourself.
Like, if you enjoy it and you're okay with it.
And now he's saying it's because he liked her last name.
I'm sure that's
exactly
exactly
the clip that we're about to pull is because she didn't like his last name. Because she says his last name is a white trash last name.
Not that it matters, but the only reason why we changed or chose my name over his last name is because his last name is like just objectively ugly.
Oh, that's rude. Oh, but she never makes fun of me. She never like tries to like step on me and humiliate me.
I know, exactly. And Idubbbz said that it was because he chose her name. She's saying, no, the only reason why is because I think his last name is ugly.
Anisa Washburn sounds bad.
Like, Washburn isn't that bad of a name. Like what is he? It's not like, I don't even know. That's not a bad name. Is it a bad name?
No, it's a very normal last name.
Yeah, it's like
I would say Jomha is a much uglier last name.
Remember earlier how Idubbbz, in his response video, danced around the fact that Mike trained Anisa for free in the gym? Well, the casino would read out a chat from Idubbbz' stream that questioned that. One that got banned in Idubbbz' Twitch chat, by the way.
Here we have the Real Fuzzy Lumpkins. They were very threatened by the Real Fuzzy Lumpkins. Hey, Ian, is it true that Mike was training both you and Ian for the cost of just training you? I'm curious because it was one thing you didn't address in the video and seems kind of important. Now, that was just like a genuine question. That guy was permanently banned. I guess he's in the Idubbbz Discord and he complained about his banning later.
And that was it for my highlights of the casino that night. So, things were looking pretty bad for Idubbbz and Anisa, but it's not like they could find a way to make things worse, right? Well, if you thought that, you thought wrong, because Anisa found a way by losing it on X, having an absolute meltdown. Someone just leaked DMs to me, showing that Ian's bitter ex-boxing coach and wife were hate-watching the Nazi duo Kino Casino, who have been obsessed with me and Ian for years before going on the H3 podcast. Not surprising, but disappointing two people can be this stupid. You guys watch Kino? Man, I'm actually happy for Ashton and Andy. They hated on those two more. A friend and survivor of Jomha's shared Kino with us. That's how we knew about the drama with Ethan at the start of the year. Lamau? I've never seen internalized misogyny quite like whatever Kate Yang is wrestling with, but I hope she gets better soon. I know she left her job because she got her ass whooped by another woman and got a rib cracked, so I know she's probably not making many friends. It makes sense why she would gravitate to those bozos. She got her ass beat, and you're blaming the victim of a violent assault for it by saying she's unlikable and therefore deserving. Ironic, you're calling her misogynistic. Look in the mirror, girly pop. No, I want her to get better. I didn't blame her. You wonder why people call you a bitch. No, I don't. Sorry for accusing you of reflecting. I should have known better. You can be a victim of childhood abuse/trauma and still be an asshole as an adult. They aren't mutually exclusive. Infantilizing women and victimizing them to protect them from accountability isn't feminism. So you're exposing something she shared in confidence, something that sounds serious and personal as an own because she privately watched the people who were trolling you online? You can only be kind and passive for so long before people need to start getting a taste of their own medicine. She gleefully sat and laughed at my husband's trauma on a podcast in front of thousands of people. Talked about my medical/ED history, etc. Let's see how she likes it. Tolerating harmful people and being the bigger person and not setting boundaries publicly and privately just allows people like this to continue harming others. I'm not going to be a doormat. I'm not claiming to be a good person. I'm not perfect. Is it disrespectful to bring up her getting her ass whooped? Sure, some can see it that way, but she told anyone and everyone who would listen about it, so it wasn't exactly a secret. The last thing I will say on anything H3 is this, directed at the audience mostly. Not the groypers, but the very confused and parasocially invested white women. You have no real concept of what intersectional feminism is. If you did, you would have left the H3 podcast within the past 3 years. You like feminism when it benefits you, when you can feel valid in your hatred for other women, or other people to make yourself feel more in control. Some of you are the most racist, sexist people in the West, and you need to do some serious self-reflection. Sit with the reality that half of your fanbase is now Nazi groypers who watch a guy who does rape reviews. This post is also directed at Hila and Galaya, or however you spell it. We're going to pause this for a second. Anisa is so stupid that she thinks the H3 show has a sizable fanbase of groypers. You know, the Nick Fuentes people? Is she dumb or stupid? Ethan talking down to a black woman who was trying to explain the Will Smith situation from another perspective to the point where he was invalidating what she was seeing online should have been your first clue, even before October 7th. He had many moments that should have made you have a more critical eye. We are way past that at this point, and you had many stops to get off. It's no wonder H3 and their subreddit is praising Kino Casino. Two guys who have had their own pedophile accusations I invite you all to look into. Using feminism as a clutch to defend yourself is pretty ironic. You're one of the most performative people online. You may receive unwanted criticism, but you also receive a lot of valid criticism as well. To group all of it together is a weak defense. By the way, I'm a Hispanic gay males. Okay, what do you want? A cookie? This doesn't involve you. No baked goods from you, please. I saw that pie you once made. Ouch. Even Ethan Klein would get in on the fun. Keep going, Anisa. You are doing great. Oh, STF you and go clutch your pearls on extended vacation, you Ozempic-ridden windbag. Ethan would then talk about this on his stream on September 12th.
You know, I used to think you were smart, Anisa, that you were like this scheming one, that you were the one kind of helping Ian, the invisible hand type of thing, you know? A lot of people thought that of you, but seeing how things have unfolded, I've realized that you are both very dumb. And I mean, let's look at your content.
Yeah, I'm an angry bitch.
It seems like they both drag each other to the bottom of the pit, you know?
That's the definition of a healthy relationship.
We would then get a little reference to Idubbbz' wonderful bagel lunch from the other day.
Back to you.
Here comes the airplane.
What is
What
this?
is that?
Why did you bring me why did
Hooking
you
you
bring me
up
a
with some
whole
food,
bagel
dude.
and a
You
dollop of jelly?
You look famished. You look a little famished.
Yeah, but why? You couldn't even cut the fucking bagel? What is this?
What? Why does it need to be cut in half?
Why would you give me a plain bagel
Wait,
and
does
a
that
dollop?
change-
It's not.
hold on,
Why am I
hold
supposed
on.
to do with this?
Hold on.
Okay, here we go.
Does cutting the bagel change the amount
you so
of bagel
much.
that you're getting? What
How
does it
you
matter?
eat a bagel?
Oh, you got a little tiny
dip
baby
in my
mouth. You can't
fucking-
get it in.
Also, while I'm streaming, like you expect me to fucking eat here like a goat?
It's your favorite, bagel and jelly,
Yeah.
uncut.
You bringing the food in is something that pisses me off.
Wait,
Wow, what a great meal.
Why?
I can tell whoever brought that to me loves me a lot. I put a lot of thought and effort into that.
Ethan Klein then pointed out how Anisa is no better than what she claims Kate is, as well as Kate going on the attack, calling Idubbbz Simple Ian, one of the best names for him that I've heard.
Uh-oh. Busted. You guys watch Kino Casino. Busted. Nazis. Whatever. Amazing display of self-owning. Anisa exposes Kate and Michael for watching Kino via leaked DMs. Anisa, Kate literally posted yesterday that she was going to watch Ian's new video through Kino. You are so dense. Yeah, yeah. You don't understand why these people who despise you would want to watch people talking shit on you.
Yes.
That's why you spend all day on Snark. Okay? You are no better. You're worse. This is your whole life. This is why you are the way you are.
The stupidest shit.
And it's ruining your life. We've noticed this phenomenon. We keep putting it up. Guys, it's not too late to get out of this snark hole. It is ruining your life.
Kate posted about it herself in her stories, and Anisa is like, somebody leaked this DM about Kate going to watch Kino Casino. I saw it in her story. I didn't need somebody to leak it. She's not like trying to hide it. She's just watching anything on her homepage probably that's about you guys. And Kate is like a normie. They're not like online like you guys, you know? They don't know Kino Casino. They don't know Nicolas Diorio. They're just seeing an Idubbbz video. They're gonna put it on.
You guys
Get
are
a
from
grip.
the internet. Not surprising, but disappointing. Two people can be this stupid. Shut up, you fucking moron.
What disappointing?
How dare you call anybody stupid? Your collective IQ is fucking below 50. Kate clapped back. Hi, Simple Ian. I'm glad that's picking up. You're showing teeth, so you must be upset. I don't understand that. What does showing teeth mean? Is that a thing?
It must be a thing.
Like
a boxing
dog?
thing, maybe?
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
We don't have 25 minutes to watch your cuck video. We'll catch the highlights on H3 and Kino. Good luck with Anisakis?
Anisakis.
It means to show hostility.
In what language?
English.
Ethan would then expose Anisa for being the hypocrite that she is, for making fun of Ethan, saying he's on Ozempic, while previously saying that Ozempic was a good thing for people to take. But remember, we're talking about the same people who will claim it's never okay to be ableist, while also mocking others for their disabilities.
Then Anisa starts lashing out at me in a way that makes her look like the biggest, dumbest, fucking hypocritical loser, which we all know she is. So anyway, she's seething, she's coping. Oh, shut the fuck. Go clutch your pearls on an extended vacation Ozempic-ridden windbag. Now again, the Ozempic thing is that's a snark thing. They're obsessed with the idea that I'm on Ozempic. They're obsessed about it. But meanwhile,
I don't get it as an insult anyway. Like what?
Well, she doesn't.
Are you
either,
against? Are you against medication?
Well, hold on though.
Confused.
She's actually recently, if you go check this out, this is from, let's see here, this year.
Oh my God, every time.
In February,
What?
she had a really principled, brave stance on Ozempic as a principled leftist. She says, listen, being on Ozempic isn't a shameful thing. It's an amazing drug that is necessary for a lot of people. It's just like SSRIs or insulin. You aren't a moral failure for seeking the proper medical help to live a better life without food
my
noise.
God, wait, this girl
Crash
makes
cut.
sense.
Crash cut to this principled humanist leftist who's so caring and thoughtful for people on Ozempic, which is the right opinion, right? Oh, all of a sudden I'm mad at somebody Now I'm going to weaponize it as an insult. Guess why?
Oh my
Because I'm a
God.
piece of shit. I have no principles. It couldn't be clear. And not only do you not have principles, you're dumb as fuck. You can't even keep track of the fucking virtue signals that you've made in the past that you don't care about. Maybe if you cared about it, you wouldn't have to virtue signal or keep track of what you've said. Because then guess what? Your ideas are consistent. You don't have to lie about the shit you think about to act cool, because I don't have to do that because my views are consistent, right?
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
an angry
she's
bitch.
I think she's mad because she wanted to say, "Oh, shut the fuck up and go clutch pearls, you fat ass." But she can't say it no more.
I'm not fat.
So she's blaming.
She
She's
lost
blaming
that.
Ozempic.
And then here's one of her fans. Yes, thank you. I hope it becomes more accessible and less stigmatized, because it's really amazing. And it does well for people. How are we
my
doing at
God.
destigmatizing that? Anisa, you fucking dumbass loser, hateful fucking hypocrite. Zero principles.
Wow.
Ethan would then read the post where Anisa accused H3H3's viewer base of being groypers, something that none of the H3 crew could believe.
And this is directed at the audience mostly, not the groypers, but the very confused and parasocially invested white women.
The groypers.
These people like to pretend that our audience is actually like predominantly white male groypers.
Or white women, but
Or white women. White women only, and
she's saying
groypers.
this is addressed to the white woman in our audience.
Okay, so this is for all the white women.
For the white women.
You have no real dude. Oh my God, Anisa, you're white. I mean, for all intent, you are white passing. You are a white. Like, I don't think anybody ever treats her like she's not white. Like, come on, girl, you're not special. Anyway, so she proceeds to lecture the white women. You have no real concept of what intersectional feminism is. If you did, you would have left the H3 podcast within the last 3 years. No, 3 years. By the way, she was on the podcast 2 years ago. Think about that. She's saying if you are a real feminist, you would have stopped watching 3 years ago.
However,
like me.
I can go on the show and benefit from it, but you should stop watching.
And pretend to be friends with Ethan and Hila.
Yeah.
Writing shit like they're my heroes and they inspire us.
Yeah.
Kind of some very cringe behavior there. Pretty phony baloney stuff. She continues, you like feminism when it benefits you, when you can feel valid in your hatred for other women or other people to make yourself feel more in control. Some of you are the most racist, sexist people in the West, and you need to do some serious self-reflection. Sit with the reality that half of your fan base is now Nazi groypers who watch a guy who does, quote, rape reviews. This post is also directed at Hila and Galia, however you spell it. Yo, you guys need to hit up your...
Wow. Oh, thanks for addressing me too.
It's just incredible, the misplaced confidence that she had to think that she has any right to lecture anybody. This is lolcowing.
Anisa, slow down. We're still getting through yesterday's tweets.
She is quite literally... She might be like the biggest lolcow. She keeps feeding and feeding the milk, and I'm just Farmer John out here. I'm filling up the buckets. I'm like, fuck, bring more buckets. There's too much milk. Bring the buckets. Is this milk pasteurized? You have to hurry. We gotta pasteurize. We gotta get this to the shop. I got gallons of milk fucking going bad out here. Get this to the shop. Hurry. You're broke. You're homeless. You're miserable. Vitaly is eating better in a Filipino prison.
But don't worry, she's taking on cooking.
If Vitaly spent the evening with Anisa, he'd say, take me back to prison.
Idubbbz would then do another stream around the same time as that one that is beyond disgusting.
Like, when you start to see these Charlie Kirk quotes and what he was talking about, there are so many, there's like a new one every day. And it just gets more disgusting. And to be honest, the outcome is literally like what he describes in all of his debates. So I'm just like, ugh, I'm over it.
But we're not there yet. Earlier in that stream, Idubbbz told us how he sees kids in his future. Let's just hope that Anisa makes him get a vasectomy.
Do you want kids in this crazy world, Idubbbz? I have hope for our future, so I'm going to say yes, glory hole.
Idubbbz would then go on about his thoughts on the murder of Charlie Kirk, a moderate who was killed because he wanted to have a public conversation with people. That's the main part of this video, so we're just going to do a few clips of what Idubbbz had to say.
Charlie Kirk did this better. What I'm saying is I don't think he ever had an experience that made him go, fuck, this is wrong what I'm doing. like, there is so much more to this. And I think that is part of, like, living the life. He just immediately went into, like, the conservative fucking system. I didn't really have any hope for this guy, like, turning over a new leaf. Like, maybe he could with time if he after he essentially won the presidential election for Trump and he was advocating for all these things and seeing how shit things are becoming, maybe he could have had a come to Jesus moment at some point, but I doubt it. He just, like, he got fucking worse and worse, and money doesn't make it any fucking better. Let me say, I'm not fucking crying over it. I fucking refuse to cry over that shit, and you know, I'm not judging anyone who's making jokes and shit, because obviously we don't want that in chat, TOS and all that, but it is a very fucking, like, it is serious shit. Like, when you start to see these Charlie Kirk quotes and what he was talking about, there are so many, there's like a new one every day. And it just gets more disgusting. And to be honest, the outcome is literally like what he describes in all of his debates. So I'm just like, ugh, I'm over it.
Oh, Idubbbz doesn't like people making jokes about it in his chat because that could get him in trouble with the terms of service. But he's absolutely okay with it and won't judge you on it. Fuck Idubbbz. That man has zero empathy whatsoever and deserves to be stuck with Anisa. Personally, I hope that he's with her until the day he dies. Froggy Fresh's wife, after hearing about this, would then post this to the Kiwi Farms. Charlie Kirk's death is a horrible loss for the United States, and it is exposing who is evil. You don't have to agree with Charlie to be a human being and immediately feel this is horrible. I wouldn't want anyone to see anyone brutally murdered for their political opinions. That clip is disturbing. Ian did not have this energy 2 years ago when I was around him. He came off as sad and depressed. He was awkward, but he didn't seem dark. This seems like a different person. Seeing this does make me angry, and a bit sad for society. It's bizarre to see a person you used to be acquainted with become so radicalized so quickly. It's like he's infected and just rotting away. At our dinner, Anisa kept talking about communism and politics, and she's very, very stupid. We were polite to her, but did not engage with her political talk. I could tell she was poking and trying to get one of us to talk about our political opinions. At one point, Ian did say to Tyler, "I just can't figure you out." I don't know what that means. Anisa is a pathological liar, and Ian lies too. Anisa hates women, and Ian hates whoever Anisa tells him to hate. Anisa and Ian also lied about her being in charge of guest lists and tickets. She didn't do any of that. It was Justin Tracy and some other girl from Real Good Touring in charge of guest lists and ticket comps. I don't know what Anisa did, to be honest. Tyler asked her when he was supposed to get his eye exam and blood work for the commission, and she didn't know anything and never tried to figure it out. The actual promoter, the woman from Florida, ended up reaching out to set it up and was kind of weird about it, like he should have already had it done and told him to go somewhere that was closed. The whole event was so unprofessional and mismanaged by everyone. Anisa must have only focused on organizing the parties and getting creators on board to fly out. I don't know what Ian was doing besides training. They never told the fighters that they were basically just an accessory to an e-celeb party masked under the guise of charity. They were so weird to the fighters, besides Marsha, who could go to those stupid parties. Marsha had a ton of people there, so did Alana. They didn't tell the fighters directly they were flying all those people in and hosting them, and that's why the fighters' friends and families were extremely limited. We had to hear through the grapevine because even the creators being flown in were hush-hush about it. We didn't expect them to fly out or pay for hotel rooms for family, but it's crazy that we had to buy our tickets in the arena and they wouldn't let us buy a room for our family in the same hotel. We also didn't even get refunds on the tickets we bought for the event. We tried putting them up for resale for way under what we paid and they didn't sell. They only gave fighters a room for themselves and a room for their coach. I heard Hassan and his posse got 10 rooms, of course, and his people got to go anywhere, got the best seats. He didn't even hang out at Anisa's party that long. He left and went to Charlie's party. To be clear, we didn't care about the parties, it's just the disrespect of how most of the fighters were treated like second-class citizens. When they said you could only bring 2 people to the parties and you only get X amount of seats, I think it was 2. We thought it was just a simple budgeting thing, so of course, it was clear how deceitful they were when we started hearing who was being flown in and getting more privileges than the actual fighters, coaches, and their families. The people who were actually making this event happen. None of those morons Anisa flew in, housed, and fed for a weekend would even promote this event. Ian and Anisa, you threatened to sue my husband over an OnlyFans joke, but you are so disgusting over the assassination of Charlie Kirk, you say you care about women, but you are mocking Kate, a child marriage survivor, and trying to intimidate a young woman into quitting her job because you don't like her boss. You mocked and tried to shame a woman in front of us for being a certain type of sex worker just because you were obviously personally jealous of her. This woman is not a public figure and hasn't spoken out, so I'm not saying who. You had a chance to actually help women by supporting Kate's real activism with your platform and do one good thing in your life, and you chose to ignore her. Look in the mirror, you are both trash. Well, not long after that, and the casino would go live again and brought up Anisa calling them Nazis.
The Nazi duo. Do you really think it's like 2018 still or 2019 still? You really think that you can just say the word Nazi and you automatically get a win? Like, look at this.
In fact,
like look at the show. Just like look at it. Look at how retarded this is Nazism to you.
Well,
you know
that your
like,
hand was mighty high there, bud.
Whoa! Oh no! You're right. Ah! I better cut my arm off and shit. I saw the dog whistle. No! Oh,
you're like,
no!
is this Nazism?
Is this Nazism to you?
He's like, is this
what if I raise it higher?
Gabe, listen.
No, we're so sorry. What are we gonna do?
Our top guy is Gabe Hoffman. And by the way, don't you hate Jewish people?
I know.
Like, wouldn't you love Nazism?
Like, we love the Jews and we love Israel.
Yeah,
it's our favorite thing. She would have better off calling us the Zionist pigs that we are.
Exactly.
But no, it's your guys are Nazis.
What a slip up.
I've never been called that before.
We would then get to see Kate's response to Anisa calling Idubbbz Anisa's cuck husband.
Let's quickly go out of this seethe fest.
We're on 6. Okay.
6. Go back up. This is Kate responding to Anisa. So she goes, "That's hardly a leak compared to some of the shit you said about your cuck husband or your cuckspin." She calls it Idubbbz the cuckspin in your personal Discord. They also had permission to send that DM to you. Who cares if I watch Kino? I also watch Nicholas Dorio's coverage of you. You guys are full on lol cows. I hate that I've had to learn this word. So just completely brushes aside Anisa's cope, but here she is, just buries her. Also, yeah, I'm for sure stupid. You got me good. Sharing an abuse victim's trauma to attack them is really going to help your image going forward. I have something called a job, a job. I can leave the internet whenever I want, and none of this will matter. But you'll always be known as the actual psychopath with a background in kinesiology and a mouth that never shuts. Go bake another shit cake, you fucking simpleton.
Ring it the fuck up.
Just destroyed her. Ring it up. Kate up. Kate's an actual career woman. She's actually educated. She's actually a political advocate that's managed to get legislation pushed through. She's accomplished more in her life than Anisa ever will. Anisa's entire life, drop out of college, never fucking did anything with her career. Was a titty streamer on Twitch. She's an OnlyFans girl, the wife of an influencer, and that's it. Kate is way more of an example of the feminist ideal of a strong woman than Anisa will ever be in her entire life. Anisa is, in fact, I would say, the worst possible example of a strong woman.
The casino would then cover Idubbbz brushing off Charlie Kirk's assassination, pointing out that it could have been anybody who talks about politics.
All right, so this is how he starts his desecration of the legacy of Charlie Kirk before the guy's body is even in the ground. Simple Ian has decided to weigh in, so let's have a look. Okay, let's all just try not to seethe too hard.
Don't seethe too hard, everyone. And again, you rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, and we'll see where America goes from here.
Let me say, I'm not fucking crying over it.
Oh my god!
Okay, aren't you supposed to be Mr. Empathy?
Just don't say anything.
You talked about how you unlocked empathy and you're going to be nice to people now and not be negative and all of this and not, but don't you know, like one of those cardinal rules, your mother would say, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. But he keeps going, and it just gets worse and worse as he goes on.
Man, I'm gonna get mad. I'm already mad on the first second. Okay, here we go.
I fucking refuse to cry over that shit. And
nobody's asking you to cry.
How rude.
But maybe just express this is a bad thing for America. Obviously, we disavow the violence. This is an awful, horrible thing to have happened. I don't necessarily think he was the greatest person, or I didn't agree with his politics, maybe say. There's so many ways to go about it that is better than what he's about to do.
Or how about just don't stream for a few days if you can't hold your tongue? You know what I mean?
Just shut up about it.
This is again, you know what someone said, and it's so true. A lot of people have said this. It's not even about conservative versus liberal anymore. It's about good versus evil. This is good versus evil, 100%.
I'm not judging anyone who's making jokes and shit, because obviously we don't want that in chat, TOS and all that.
So he's a coward. He's a total coward. So he condones and endorses mocking the assassination of a father in front of his 2 kids and his wife for being a political moderate and engaging in debates and an exchange of ideas. He endorses that. But he's too much of a coward to have it in his own chat because he doesn't want to violate TOS. He has no moral quandary with it other than what Twitch has put upon him.
Yeah.
That's the slimiest thing you could possibly say.
Yes.
The only person I've seen have a worse take was Destiny. Yeah. And I'll be honest, it actually gets debatable as you go through what Idubbbz says here. He just completely trashes the entire guy's life, memory, and legacy. He's actually justifying the assassin's behavior, saying there's all these quotes that I disagree with. It doesn't mean that he should be killed. And it's just crazy as a public figure to be saying this stuff because anyone could be next. Including you, brother.
Yeah. Oh, I don't agree what he's saying. Oh, he was hanging out with Hassan.
Oh, you don't agree with this or you don't agree with that means that they should die?
Definitely
That's a very dangerous thing to be open to, Ian. Get a grip.
You just haven't seen enough of the world, and you don't have to see more.
What?
Idubbbz is of the belief that Charlie Kirk lived in ignorance, that he had no experiences, that he never saw the world. This is a guy who went out there and was constantly facing other perspectives and other points of view on a near daily basis. A guy who managed an organization of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, was friends with people of all different races, colors, creeds, sexual orientations, gender identities, but he didn't experience the world. Ian, what is your life experience compared to Charlie Kirk? And he was only 31, you're 35. And Charlie Kirk did more in his 31 years than you would do in 200 years, my friend. And it's just this sick, thinking. It's just that he's ignorant. It's just that he hasn't experienced enough. If he experienced enough, he would come to the same worldview that I have. What a weird, twisted way of viewing things, man.
He doesn't even have a worldview. He fucking photocopies what he thinks the Hassan likes.
This wasn't David Duke. This wasn't Richard Spencer. This guy promoted like multiracial working class populism and a broad tent coalition for the GOP. Okay? His most extreme takes are that he's pro-life and that he doesn't agree with gay marriage.
Bro, you demonize people you disagree with, where Charlie was willing to fucking hang out with them and talk to them.
Okay.
The reality of the situation is someone is fucking dead for their viewpoints, and he wasn't even extreme. So you want me dead? You want Ashton dead? Huh?
Oh, I think so. Like, he wouldn't shed a tear, right?
He would laugh. Oh, he would. They deserved it because
he just keeps going. There's so many clips of this, and this is just the tip of the iceberg as to what he was going off about with Charlie Kirk.
I disagree. I don't.
But guys, you guys have to be upset that people are losing their jobs for say whatever. No, I don't care anymore. By the way, guys, this is the side that's tolerant. This is the side of empathy and love. Fuck, it's nothing but evil and twisted shit.
Already.
Warski would then put it pretty bluntly, saying that Idubbbz wasn't too smart before the boxing, and he was now worse with the brain damage.
This guy has fucking brain damage, and he was retarded before the brain damage. And he has any goal. Talk about political anything.
Oh, man.
Or the assassination of someone.
Well, later, Idubbbz would give the H3 podcast, or the harassment podcast as he calls them now, an offer, saying that if they stop talking about him, he will also stop talking about them. A deal that only sounds good if you're Idubbbz and Anisa on their YouTube downfall.
By the way, if the harassment podcast doesn't want me to talk about, what they're saying, I guarantee you, as soon as they stop talking about Anisa and I, I'm out of there. Just want to put that out there. It's an option. It's an option for them if they don't want to hear this.
Well, fast forward a bit, and on September 15th, Ethan Klein would talk about the Kaceytron situation and how Anisa was now backing her up.
Back to Kaceytron, who's been running her dang mouth and coming at... AB's getting snacks. Uh-oh. He's bringing the snack bag to the table.
Royal gold.
Anyway, so she, after AB spoke up, had to go on record and attack him. She says, hearing people victimize themselves over criticism. Meanwhile, their boss is using his millions of dollars to do frivolous lawsuits and put others in financial ruin. I could literally be forced to foreclose and lose my home if I can't keep up with the legal fees. AB, you coward. And then Anisa, the ultimate...
I'm plotting.
She says, I love you, Casey. You're smart, and you deserve so much more respect online. Casey, you know that she's making fun of you, right? When she says you're smart for no reason. Like, she can't help but be passive-aggressive to other women, even when she's trying to compliment them.
Whatever.
And the proof of that is when Anisa sent that message to Olivia, thinking that it was, like, altruistic and brave. And then when she sent it, and we're like, this is the most passive-aggressive, like, mean girl-coded... And so, well, we all know Kaceytron is not bright. And so when Anisa leads with you're smart, it's clear that she's insulting her.
No, you're right.
So then she responds to me. She says, no, she didn't respond. She said this comment that really I thought was just so fucking gross and so disgusting that I was like, I'm not settling. She says, it's so funny seeing all these foot fungi. I love that they think that's like an insult. It's so funny. The foot fungi feigning concern over my recreational drug use. Nobody's feigning concern. I spend less than a fraction of what privileged crybaby Starkiller does on DoorDash orders. To be fair to AB, I don't know where you live, but food in LA is extraordinarily expensive. May I say, with all peace and love, Kaceytron, that whatever goodwill I had for you, whatever charity I had for you was like, oh, we're fun. She's funny. She's silly and whatever. She's broke and she's just an idiot and she's just a stoner idiot. I now see you as the malicious. It's so unfair that I can't say the B word. And the ladies.
Olivia wouldn't want you to.
Bitch.
Remember. Facts.
That's true. Facts. That's why, and especially that's why I refrain.
Yeah, there you go.
But you are a cruel, disgusting, fucking
bitch.
Stop.
Crone. So I responded to this. I said, hey, Kaceytron, settlement's off the table. Good luck.
Oof.
I'm sure your attorney's going to be great. Stoked about that. Fuck you, you disgusting, evil piece of shit. You are fucked. You're cooked. How dare you speak against my friends like that? Especially Olivia, who's said she's on a mental health break, who quit the show, which is what you fucking scumbags wanted. And that's not enough?
Then, Coach Mike and Kate would come back onto the H3 podcast to talk about Idubbbz and Anisa, exposing all of their lies once again. Let's get some highlights in, and I gotta warn you, this is a very long one.
Sorry to keep you guys waiting. I am very, very sorry about that.
It's okay.
We've been flexing on the haters, I think they say, so they deserve all the time. But speaking of deserving all the time, since your first appearance, which by the way everybody loved,
yeah, we appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Since then, though, Anisa and Idubbbz had a lot to say about you guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
Clearly. Yeah.
Very interesting business. What did you guys think of the response there?
First of all, it came 3 months. I feel like it came when she told them it was allowed to come versus when it should have actually came. I don't know if they had took that long just to put together that video or what it was, but and then he did a 6.5 hour stream afterwards, which I don't think anybody has 6.5 hours to watch him cry and complain, even though he claimed that I was crying during the whole interview. I feel like we all know that even though he claims that he's very stoic, he's actually the one that was crying.
Do you, you've spent time with Ian. Do you believe him to be stoic?
Not at all. No, he's the opposite of stoic. He's literally the opposite of stoic. If he was stoic, it would, first of all, he wouldn't cry as much as he does. We wouldn't have known about all the complaining. We wouldn't have known any of the issues that we knew about. We only knew about all those issues because he's not stoic. He claimed multiple times that we were paid $5,000 to be on the show. No, we wanted to be on the show, and I made it very clear in the beginning. Ian lacks comprehension, and it's very obvious by his video that he lacks comprehension, or Anisa has not told him what comprehension is, so he's not allowed to have it. But the whole purpose of me being on the show in the first place was to separate my brand from his. I did not want my brand to be affiliated with his brand. I don't care if I'm on here saying these things about him, because what we said was facts, and he couldn't dispute the facts. He would even come back and try to have a lie counter, but his lie counter, he would say we lied, and then right after he said we lied, he would literally say the same story that we said, but from his point of view. But it kind of proved that we were telling the truth and he was lying, and he didn't have it. For just one example is he said that during the Alex Hearn sparring session that he was supposed to spar that day, but then he's like, I had no mouthpiece. Why would you have no mouthpiece if you were supposed to spar that day? We literally had the conversation. Him and Anisa had the conversation about so he tries to act like because they didn't use the word promise. I didn't promise I was going to put you on the documentary. I didn't promise I was going to give you your bonus. But for me, when we have conversations where he's like, oh, we're going to make a documentary about the whole thing. He even came on your show and talked about how they were going to release the documentary on everything. So when he says that, it's like crazy to me. It's like, dude, you had talked about it in public to multiple people about the documentary. He went down to LA and videotaped people and got interviews before and after the fights. He was supposed to make a documentary, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's no narrative, blah, blah, blah. And that, which once again makes no sense. And he's like, oh, you make the documentary. Dude, I'm a fight coach. I don't make documentaries. What the hell are you talking about? So it's just so weird. It's like, oh, Ian, you become a fight coach. You know, oh, it's so easy. You do it. It's just like all of his arguments made no sense. And so it was just the bonus thing. Yes, you did. You and Anisa literally came to me and told me everyone involved was getting a bonus, which to me meant also coaches would be getting a bonus, right? Or they would be paying the fighters, and the fighters could decide what the coaches deserved.
But it's his event. It's his event. He's the guy with the money, and he's telling you, his coach, everybody gets a bonus.
Yes, we literally had that conversation. He's trying to say we didn't, but once again, in his video, when he tries to say the things that he didn't do, he then goes and says, oh, but we did do this. He even starts the video by saying something completely crazy. He's like, my coach is so insecure that he cares if his fighters lose. because he thinks it's a reflection on him. Yes, I do care. I care more if they lose than you care, Ian.
After we came on your show back in June, right? They both blocked all of us, and both me and Michael, and so our DMs with them has vanished. But the only messages we have with them is through the phone. Yeah. So I mean, we'll look for it. But like, I think that might have been Anisa that sent it to you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, because she was the one that was trying to get Ian out of doing doubles a few weeks up to before the fight.
I want to see his ravaged tonsil stone filled throat. It's so obvious that he's lying. And all you have to do is just look at this claim that he continues to repeat, is that I paid you guys $5,000 to come talk shit about him. And he even like world builds around it. He's like, oh, they were afraid that if they didn't talk shit hard enough, they weren't going to get the money and all this types of stuff. It happened at the end of the episode. I mean, here I have the timestamp.
You know, offered in any way.
I make it very clear.
You guys are hearing this for the first.
Because I didn't want anyone to think that was what happened, right? That I was paid you guys to come on here. Everything you said is so obvious. I mean, it's so obvious, right?
I swear to God, they think empathy is a political party, because Ian just put out that video having no empathy for Charlie Kirk or his wife, had no empathy for me or my wife, calls her dumb as rocks. It's just like, you claim to have empathy, but I think you think that it's only whatever Anisa tells you to have empathy about. She tells him what music to listen to. She literally told him when he's hungry at the gym. And it blows my mind, the fact that, oh, he claims he has empathy. Oh, they claim to be socialist communists. They claim to be sex workers. They claim to be all these things. But it's like, they just try to put themselves in a box to be like, hey, look, we're this and you're not, therefore you're a bad person.
It's the virtue signaling, right? They get to reap the social credits of being like, I'm a fucking communist and I do all these things right and I have all these great beliefs. But meanwhile, they never talk the talk, they never walk the walk, and it's just a bunch of bullshit. And when it comes to, supporting people, let the fucking capitalists take over.
It's time.
And she's always like wanted to take AB and Lena from you guys. She's always wanted to have something of her own that would be similar to the H3 podcast. That's the reason why Michael and I did not have the heart to tell AB and Lena, even though we knew they were like, we knew that Ian and Anisa were just simpletons and they're evil, right? We didn't have the heart to tell AB and Lena, because we saw that they liked them and they didn't know better, so it was sad. But when we saw the last video of AB coming out and sharing all the stuff that he had to put up with the last year and a half, it was really sad, and it broke our hearts that they actually went through that. We didn't know. We just thought that maybe, they liked them a lot and then they just kind of went on the ride. We had no idea about the blackmailing, all that stuff. So it's horrible.
I'm not surprised though. Also, we knew from the start, one of the reasons that we never came to AB and everyone else about how fake they were. Yeah. One, we knew that AB was close with them, but we also knew Ian and Anisa were only after AB for Lebanese clout.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with actually being good people or we really click with these people. Anisa wanted to hang out with other Arabs or partial Arabs to prove how Arab she is.
Yeah.
Even though,
so sad.
Keep in mind, Ian ripped the Quran in half on live, and also
I know, man.
He denounced being a Muslim on camera.
I saw that too. So what do you call that when you've renounced being a Muslim? It's really bad, right?
A kafir. No,
it's called a apostle. No, there's a name for it, but yeah, I think those two are probably some of the worst things that you can do as a devout Muslim. I mean, tearing the Quran in half is fucking insane.
No, I mean, yeah, I've said a few prayers for him, to be honest.
We got AB praying for his cursed ass.
I see my grandma like a forest ghost when I saw that. She's like, he's going to hell. I'm like, no.
I've talked to a lot of fighters now, some publicly, some privately, but one commonality between them all is they all fucking hate Anisa.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
Yeah, and also I want to say I don't know, because I know that Minx did not fight on the second. I mean she's kind of just been off the card ever since CC1. But Minx is another YouTuber that I always felt that Anisa was jealous of, and she also was not very nice to Minx, and so I just wanted to put that out there.
Minx, if you have a story, come forward.
And also the thing about it was, so sometime between July or September was when I asked him about being a guarantor. When she reached out to him about child marriage was January, and he said he was extremely offended that I would ask him to be a guarantor. Keep in mind, that's not putting up any money.
Yeah, I don't even understand that. He could have just politely said, I can't do it right now.
Yes.
He could have, but also...
He goes, I was super nice. All I said was, and then he actually says it. He goes, in no world can I give you money. I was like, that's not nice. That's insane. What the fuck?
He is insane. And I'm so glad that he put out that video saying that he admitted to texting that to us. Because when I saw the text message, I was just so shocked. Like, how could this be Ian? We've been there with him throughout the past 3-4 years. Like, I don't understand, you know what I mean? And so for him to come out and say those were his words and he, you know, signs off on it, I'm just like, wow, he's a horrible person.
Yeah, and then he also, the way he talked about the political activism you're doing about child brides, the way he's like, I saw it and I just was mad, so I closed it and never sent it to Anisa.
Yeah, why would you be mad for 4 months after? He's saying he was mad because I asked him to be a guarantor, not a loan, a guarantor. He's like, I lost my ass on all this stuff. And first of all, if you constantly talk about how much of a millionaire you are, and then you're mad,
I don't think they are, by the way. I think they lost. I think they lost the vast.
Yeah, I mean, like
amount of their fortune.
For Ian to say that, like, oh, he didn't show Anisa, that's a lie. We know that Ian and Anisa are one, and
exactly.
they basically
He's
share
covering
one
for her.
Yeah, he's covering for her. You know, what
she's
I mean?
a feminist.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe in that screenshot that the DM that she shared, right, to try to expose, you know, Olivia. Like she said in there that, oh, I care about women and, you know, children or girls. I'm just like, you're fake.
Yeah.
You're so fake.
Yeah.
Oh, there was another thing he said that was so out of pocket. How he's like, oh, she got beat up. She broke her ribs at her last job. So no wonder. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Oh, that was an Anisa thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Anisa's crazy. Like that's how low and crazy she is. I'm really glad that she stooped down to that level because it really shows the world how crazy she is, what kind of person she is. Yeah. There was an incident at work where I was working for a doctor and I was working in surgery, and I was the surgical lead of that practice, meaning that I'm the right hand to the doctor. The doctor, unfortunately, didn't have the best business sense and had fired his office manager, and then hired his nanny to be his office manager. And the doctor
sounds
had
like he's having an affair with somebody.
Yes, and he did go through a divorce because he had an affair. So the doctor was like, Kate, I know you're really smart and you're the surgical lead, so I really need you to train her and help her in any way possible, right? But I didn't know that this person had a substance abuse problem, you know? And so one day she came to work and she was shaking, and I knew that she was on something, and she physically attacked me and she hit me with a wood door and broke my rib. And then when that happened, I had to resign from my job. I was so broken in that moment because I was a single mom, right? And that time Michael and I were not living together. And I was worried that I would have to resign from my job because of an unsafe unsafe environment. And I was assaulted at work. And now my employer is trying to shush me by sending me a letter of defamation. He had his attorney send me a letter saying, hey, if you don't sign this statement saying that the incident never happened, we're going to sue you within 7 days for defamation. And then I said, you want to know something? I'm no longer the 12-year-old bride that I was, okay? I'm a survivor and I know how to defend myself. I will use the law to reinforce you. So let's fucking go, okay? And that's why I got myself an attorney. I did win my lawsuit. Okay, and Anisa knows all this. I shared this with her because I thought she was my friend. I thought she was our friend. I thought she was our family friend. That's the reason why we invited them to Thanksgiving. That is the reason why we go to the extent that we go to be there for them. That is the reason why instead of charging them $150 an hour to film dynamic filming, I charged them $100. That is the reason why my husband, instead of charging them $100 per person per session, even though their sessions are separate, but at the same time, like, he gives them a huge discount. And we do all this, and we were just gonna take all this information to the grave with us. The only reason why we came out is because we found out that Ian is trying to do another creator clash, and he's ripping people off again, and he's not being honest. And then he had to call CPS on your kids. Let's take it back to this. Well, he didn't call them, but he encouraged the community.
He justified it.
He justified it. So just by him doing that, it just makes me realize he's not a good person. No. He's really evil. So that's the reason why we came forward with the information we had, because Ian needed to know that he cannot continue this way forever. Someone's going to hold him accountable. If no one's going to hold him accountable, then Ethan Klein's going to hold him accountable. And he needs to understand that, both him and Anisa.
That's right.
even though the next day they come to the gym and they tell my wife, Michael has no respect for women. He never respects women.
Oh God, that's
shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's like,
yeah, I had to have a whole like sit down with her the next day because she came to the gym and she was so upset. And then she told me that, you know, she doesn't understand why I could be with Michael because, you know, he doesn't support women. And she was literally encouraging me to leave my husband, basically. Like, I wouldn't be with someone like that.
Sounds like the kind of pressure she's putting on AB, Olivia, and Lena.
Yeah, she's really good at that. Yeah.
And the fucking concern trolling she does is insane. When Ian made a whole video about fucking concern trolling, I'm cussing way more.
To be fair, that video was insanely bad, dumb, poorly conceived, incomprehensible, like psychotic.
It would have been way better if he would have put Anisa's tweets in there. Then it would have gave way more context to the shit. Yeah. It's like, dude, you and your wife are fucking concern trollers, or whatever. I don't even know what the fuck that means. I just know it's when you pretend to care about something, but you're like trolling about it. That's exactly. When she fucking made a tweet about my wife and she was like, I just want her to be better. Bitch, that's not what it said. That's what you put in the first sentence, and then your sentences after that had nothing to do with being better. It's like, they're such pieces of shit. Once again, they have no principles. They have no morals. They just pretend like they're better people by using key words that makes them sound better. And it's like, dude, everyone sees through your bullshit. Even the lies that you were trying to call me out for, you would then immediately talk about how it was the truth. So it's like, what the fuck?
They would never give us the location of the hotel that they're staying at until literally like the day before or the day of. And they would always say, oh, well, that's because like you have no idea, Kate. Ian and I, like we're famous and we're celebrities. So if people find out like where we're staying, then, you know, like Ian's afraid that, you know, people might try to come and kill me. Like Sam Hyde might come and kill me.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And then I said to her, how is that possible for someone to know like where you're staying? And she said that one time she took a selfie in a bathroom and they were able to figure out which hotel it was because of the tile from the back of the shower. And I was like, are you serious? Are you that famous? How come nobody knows you? I don't understand. And even though Ian and Anisa put us through, you know, all this horrible things and like backstabbed us and just treated us like crap, I put all that aside, you know, and I sent that text message to him because I just thought to myself, even if they're horrible and they like never gave us a bonus or they treated us horribly or came to our house and then act like they don't know us, it's okay. Like if I reached out to them and they were to just share the house bill and the work that we're doing, that would have just made up for everything else. You know what I mean? Because that's all I really wanted. But as you can see now, the way they're behaving is that they're not good people. They want to share your trauma. They want to share all these things, and it's very sad.
They are pro-child marriage. Let it be known.
Yeah, they are pro-child marriage, 100%. You know,
that's what they're in favor of. Well, ironically, I mean, Ian, in age is not a child, but mentally he is, and so in that case, Anisa is very pro-child marriage.
So, what's there to say at the end of this one? Ian and Anisa are a couple of scumbags, and by this point, I think that they're only going to get worse going forward. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if Idubbbz' YouTube plaque ends up on Keemstar's wall and Anisa and Wingo end up doing that show together. Or maybe Anisa will divorce Idubbbz and both of them will fall into obscurity. Anisa because she doesn't have somebody more famous to prop her up. And Idubbbz because without her, his brain-dead decisions would stop dead in their tracks.
Joey got it for the people of America. I am never going to financially recover from this.